Cappie Pondexter, let's circle back and look at some of the things that went on with her just a few years ago, I think 2021. She was experiencing some trauma, and she stated that LeBron James stole all of her money and trafficked her, and that she was missing for 2 years. I don't know if you remember, she would go live on IG and really crash out, but she would bring LeBron James up a lot and accuse him of being a trafficker.
I ain't confused. I ain't on that shit. That nigga tried to kill me for real. I just fucking got out of that shit. I've been missing for almost like 2 years. I didn't even know where the fuck I was at. I do not fuck with LeBron James. That nigga's a trafficker, my nigga. That nigga is a trafficker. He is a fucking trafficker. He trafficked women in real time. That nigga stole all my money out of my bank account.
So I know it's easy for people to brand her a lunatic and everything she's saying is just out there conspiracy stuff, right? But it looks like, I don't know, a lot of patterns going on with a certain group of people. Again, looking at images with a fresh perspective. I am looking at things here with Cappie. I see a young girl. She's from Chicago. She has big dreams and also big talent. And the road to fame and fortune, it is littered in traps and vipers, and what happens to a young person if they have trauma and they come from a broken home. And we know the statistics of Black children that are raised in broken homes. I don't know if Cappie was, but I'm just saying that it is a common story. And when I look at some of the WNBA players and you watch them go from a certain innocence and then they are becoming more sexualized, and we know how that ends up. So I'm looking at these images and I'm seeing something, and it's telling me a story. Let me know what you think. Now, I find this also interesting that Cappie had a close relationship with Kobe Bryant, and Kobe Bryant wanted her to teach Gigi, his daughter that died in the helicopter crash. He wanted Cappie to teach Gigi some of her moves. So listen to this podcast of Cappie talking about that.
Me and Kobe had one of those like relationships where it's like when we saw each other, it was like, hey, what's up? Like we were catching up always. It wasn't until he retired and things kind of slowed down where I think we were actually like in both of our minds thinking like we'll be around forever, because I had just moved to LA and he was forming the Mamba Academy. And he was saying like the last time we did the event together that he held at the Mamba Academy, he was like, man, you got to see Gigi play and you got to teach her the moves. You got to teach her how to dribble. You got to come see her play.
Wow.
And that was our last conversation. I never got to see her play. I never got to meet her. But me and Kobe, you know, we just had that connectedness the first moment that we met back in 2008. And I was able to see him at his last game in Chicago and talk for a bit. And then, yeah, I think the last time we did our event together was the last time that I saw him.
I have shared my thoughts on Kobe Bryant's very tragic death. What I want to say about this overall Black Boule entertainment industry is that it is steeped in a very cruel culture. Okay? And there is no real brotherhood and no real sisterhood. It's just knives in their backs. And there's mind control because they have to be monolithic, and cruel hazing. I witnessed hazing when I was in college. I witnessed the kind of stuff they do to each other, and it's all excused. And, you know, when you get the call, as they say, you got to show up and do whatever it is that's required. There is no freedom, no independent thought. And they seem to hate their competition due to deep-seated envy and jealousy. So, you know, the thing about racism that a lot of these very entitled people want to always complain about, the thing about it that makes them so hypocritical is that they live lives behind gates. They don't have to worry about the economy or anything, okay? They fly above it, right? They fly. Jay-Z even had some lyrics where he bragged about flying above it all, you know? And many black people will tell you that it's not racism and white supremacy that is their greatest enemy, right? They will let you know that their greatest nemesis and villain is a person that looks just like them, a skinfolk or kinfolk. You know, racism seems to be the thing that they want to cloak their degeneracy in, because we're supposed to believe that black people do not do wrong. Okay, they are moral and upstanding because they're oppressed. They're a victim. Oh, there are many victims, real victims of this brotherhood and sisterhood. But we're not supposed to talk about that. We're not supposed to care about all the lives that get destroyed. Okay. And one of them is Bashir Gray. That's for another time. But I want to read this quote from Dave Chappelle when he was going through what he went through. And he says, the worst thing to call someone is crazy. It's dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe their environment is a little sick. And that is exactly what we need to start rejecting, this sick and vile culture. Yeah, looking at these guys now, they look every bit of the evil clown. And some of us also went down some roads and found out that the Nephilim were described as looking like clowns. The Nephilim. It made sense when I learned that the Nephilim taught women the arcane art of abortion. Yeah, so abortion is a big item right now, a big agenda being pushed by the Democrats. And it is diabolical, the things that they push. Now, the American Negro, my particular tribe, we were never supposed to adopt these practices. And we have fallen so far as a result. Now, it is a late hour, I get it, and some will never see the truth. They are given over to the reprobate mind, and that's a sad thing to witness, because it's so clear right now that evil is showing itself unmasked. So it should be easy for a person who at least knew the truth to be able to see what's going on. And for the other nations that are looking upon my little tribe, the American Negro, just know that we have fallen so far because we were never supposed to adopt these practices. So if you wonder why we are in the condition that we're in, this is why.
So let me ask you this. What is happening in Hollywood that a guy that tough will be on the street waving a gun, screaming, "They are trying to kill me"?
Yeah.
What's going on? Why is Dave Chappelle going to Africa? Why does Mariah Carey make a $100 million deal and take her clothes off on TRL? A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you. There ain't no weak people talking to you. So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick.